So I'm sure it's going to be quite interactive session for you all. At the end of the session, we are going to have feedback as well, which I would request you to share viewpoints. How was your experience? All right. So first of all, my name is Sandeep, and I'm an IELTS expert at IELTS Tutorials Aussies Group. So this session was supposed to be taken by Pooja ma'am, but she is not well, and that's why I would be taking this session. But you would see, like sometimes Pooja ma'am would be conducting, sometimes I'd be, or our other tutors, Nisha ma'am, or our other tutors as well. So I mean, you would get very familiar, or most of you already are familiar with our names and faces. So today we are going to discuss true, false question types in the reading section. Now, let's have a look at our journey so far. We've been doing so well, and you can see even the success rate is on. Got 7+ scores, 70% of our students. So we got 130,000 registered IELTS test takers, and join would be for like good number of students have joined for online coaching. We have our Telegram group community as well. That is very close to 12,000 now. You can join. We have our free sessions, very interactive Telegram group, I would say. So look at the numbers. Fortunately, because of your interactive, your faith in us, and because of the quality that we offer, can see that how good we are doing. We have a dedicated learning application as well, IELTS tutorials, wherein you are given if you join the classes, if you opt to join our sessions, then you are given your credentials, wherein you can join and look at your recorded classes. A material is given for everyone. If you download the application, it even contains practice tests and samples for all 4 modules. And there are tips and tricks, of course. So very, very useful application, IELTS tutorials.online. Please do download it. This is for everyone. Now, probably you are in the initial stages of your preparation. So just to give you a fair bit of idea about IELTS test, it has 4 components: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And academic or general training, there are 2 modules. Academic would be that if you're planning to go abroad on a student visa. General training would be for if you are planning to go abroad under skilled migration program or express entry. Then there are 2 formats: paper-based test and computer-delivered test. Earlier, there used to be just 1 paper-based test, but it's been a while that they have introduced computer-delivered test as well, which is very user-friendly, and you get your result fairly quickly. So IELTS has 4 components: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. This would be the test order in the computer-delivered test. Listening, reading, writing would always be in one go or in one session. Speaking would be in a different session always. So duration of your listening test is approximately 30 minutes and 40 questions. No negative marking. Make sure that you attempt each and every question. After listening, you'd be attempting reading section. So here, the time would be 60 minutes and there'll be 40 questions. Once again, no negative marking. So make sure that you are attempting each and every question. According to your correct answers, you are assigned a band score. So listening section, 30 minutes, 40 questions. Reading section, 60 minutes, 40 questions. After reading section, you'd be attempting writing section. And 60 minutes time would be there, and 2 tasks are there. Initial 20 minutes, you are going to take attempt task 1. Remaining 40 minutes, you'd be attempting task 2. Then comes your speaking test, 11 to 14 minutes. Now, listening, reading, writing would always be in one go or in one session. Speaking can be held on the same day as your listening, reading, writing, or prior to listening, reading, writing, or even afterwards too. Now, from 25th June, there have been some changes in the paper-based test. The test order has been reshuffled. A test taker would be attempting the writing section first and then listening. After that would be reading in the paper-based test. So there are no changes in terms of structure, question types. Everything remains the same. It's just the test order that has been reshuffled. Excuse me. So a brief overview that listening, 30 minutes, 40 questions. Reading section, 60 minutes, 40 questions, no negative marking. Writing section 60 minutes, and the 2 tasks should be there. Speaking 11 to 14 minutes, and it has 3 parts in it. So you are given 4 components: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Today we are going to talk about reading section. And why we are given reading section after all in the test, you may be wondering. So that is that a test taker is able to evaluate ability to read and interpret academic English, and it assesses how good you are at skimming the information. Can you read academic English or not? That's basically the objective of giving you the reading test. Now, if we understand the reading test, as we discussed, 60 minutes should be there and 40 questions. Each correct answer gives you 1 point. There is no negative marking. According to your correct answers, you are assigned a band score. So 40 correct answers will give you band 9. And according to in the academic module, you are given a little bit of liberty that with 39 correct answers, you would get band 9. In the general training, the bar is raised slightly higher. In order to achieve band 9, a test taker would need all 40 correct answers. There will be different question types in the reading section. So the majority of those would be like match the headings, multiple choice questions, short answer questions. But basically, these are 3 categories only of the questions that you would see. That would be you are given a text or a passage, then your set of questions. Then the first category would be fill in the blanks. You are given sentences with blanks in between. Your task is to find the exact word from the passage. You cannot make up your own word. You cannot use synonyms when it comes to fill in the blanks. You need to write the exact word that would come in the blank. The second category would be matching questions. Under matching questions, you'd be attempting short answer questions, match list questions, multiple choice questions, and match the heading questions. The third one would be true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given questions, which we are going to discuss today. So many students face difficulty in true, false, not given, because true is easy, that if all elements are same from the question in the passage, most of the test takers would never complain about true. But when it comes to false and not given, there is always some degree of I never get my answers right. So we'll try to simplify that today. So in the academic module, you are given 3 passages. There will be 40 questions. The question types would be fill in the blanks, matching questions, and true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given questions. When it comes to general training, you are given 3 sections, 60 minutes time. So section 1 and section 2 contain 2 short paragraphs each. You would always have a long passage or a text like the academic one in the section 3. So in the general training, you are given 5 paragraphs. Out of 5, 4 are short paragraphs. Now, it doesn't mean that because it's a short paragraph, information will be very easy to locate. It's not going to be easy. You are required to make sure that you are scanning and skimming. The brainstorming part would be there. Information would be paraphrased extensively. So the difficulty level is same as the academic module. Now, the question types are same in both modules. You have your fill in the blanks, sentences with blanks in between. Then you have your matching questions, and then true, false, not given questions. Then you need to have certain reading skills to locate your information. That would be scanning and skimming the information, understanding main ideas in a given text. If you are given a detailed text, are you able to locate the information or not? Many times you need to understand opinions and attitude as well. Sometimes you'll be drawing inference or conclusion. Now, one humble request or a gentle reminder, if you have any question, I'm not expecting you to remain on mute. Let's make it interactive. Your opinions, your questions do matter. So please feel free to ask your questions. I'll be answering as you ask. So let's make it interactive. Any questions you may have, please feel free to ask. When it comes to scoring, so you are given 40 questions, and each correct answer gives you 1 point, no negative marking. So there are academic and general training modules. Academic would be for student visas, or general training would be for express entry or applying for permanent residency. Then in order to achieve band 9 in the academic module, out of 40, you would need 39 to 40 correct answers. All right, so academic module questions would be this one. Or if you want, the question types are same for Malayapati, probably you wanted to have a look at this one. Please have a look. The question types would be fill in the blanks. You can take a screenshot. The question types would be fill in the blanks. Then you have your matching questions. And then you have your true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given questions. Now the bar is raised slightly higher. One should always read the question first email. That's very, very important. And the only reason for doing that is to save time. So one should always read the question first, not the passage. There is no other reason. Because if you are going to read the passage first, then you would be reading the questions. After that, you would come back to read the passage once again. So why not read the question first, and that to one question at a time, locate the information, then move on to the next question. In the beginning, you may panic that I'm reading the question. I have not even gone through the passage. How am I supposed to get the answer? Trust me, it always works and perfectly. Now, when it comes to general training, as you can see in the academic module or student visa, 39 correct answers would give you band 9. But here, band 9, you would need all 40 correct answers. To achieve band 8, you would need 37 to 38 correct answers. Band 7, you would need 34 to 35 correct answers. And the list goes on. Now, we are going to talk about reading section, and probably you are in the very initial stages of your preparation. So if you try to simplify this, that you may be thinking that, is it going to work or is it not going to work when it comes to the reading section? These are the things which are not going to help you. So if you think that I'm going to complete all the materials that is sent by my friends or wherever I can get hold of it, or just I'm going to attempt all the reading tests which are available online or YouTube, this is not going to work. That's the first thing. I'm going to read a lot of books. I'd be reading and then I'd be learning. This alone would not help you as well. Another thing would be that if you join the classes or if you're preparing in online or offline class, tutor alone cannot do everything. This is to assist you, to give you ideas. The implementation lies on your part. So it's a collective effort, team effort, I would say. So it should be like shoulder to shoulder with your tutor. And you need to remember that never start with unrealistic goal, that I'm going to dedicate 5 hours every day. These look good on a paper, but when you try to execute 5 hours, this is academic reading. And now then you have started with like, probably you could do it in 1 day, 2 days, but after some time you are going to give up 100%. So it shouldn't be hit and miss. You need to make sure that the consistency is there. So start with realistic goals only. Then when you are going to apply the strategies, you need to make sure that first thing you understand the strategies, then you master the strategies. And one of the most common reason is that you are unable to master the strategies is that a test taker is always concerned about time. I mean, you are told that time is important from the day one, which is, but you need to remember that in the initial stages of your preparation, time, even though you're going to time yourself, but do not constantly keep on checking time, because you would always be under this pressure that I'm not getting my answers. I should be taking 1 minute, 30 seconds for each question. But here you go. I'm taking 4 minutes, 5 minutes. That is normal. You are going to take a bit more time because you're trying to apply the strategies. Once you have mastered the strategies, it would be easy. Then, like especially in our group, we have question banks. The next thing would be that probably you always take more time in the match the headings or true, false, not given questions. We have the question bank related to those same types of questions. You don't have to attempt the full tests so that you can apply match the headings one. You would be given question banks. Then if you are not going to follow tips and tricks given to you, it's going to be difficult. Suppose it's a tried and tested strategy to save time. One should read the question first, but if you do not follow this, it's going to take some time, and probably you would never be able to complete your tasks because the passages are going to be quite long. And if you're going to read the whole passage or not applying tips and tricks, this is not going to help. So what is going to help then? So the first thing, the step one, as you are going to start would be that attempt full tests. Either it's the reading one, listening one, or the writing one. Do 2 to 3 tests under exam conditions. So just to see that where do you stand naturally. Whatever your skills are, reading skills, listening skills are, you need to know where do you stand. Then when it comes to the reading section, it is vital that you note down any difficult word. This is one simple thing that would take you a long way if you want to ace your reading section. The examiners are going to put advanced words in the question intentionally just to test whether you know the meaning of it or not. The whole meaning depends on that word. If you are not aware of the meaning, you are going to have an educated guess, and probably it would be right, probably it wouldn't be. So one simple tip I would be giving you, that any difficult word that you come across, make sure you make a note of it. I know it's going to be a bit tedious, it's going to be a bit monotonous, but the important part is you don't have to do the preparation for like extended periods, like 6 months, 1 year. It's going to be hardly for 1 month or 2 months. So any difficult word you come across, make sure you make a note of it. Another important aspect is honestly correct yourself. Whenever you practice, even with your tutor or practicing on your own, be 100% honest, transparent. You need to know what sort of mistakes are you making so that you can identify. I mean, like shortly we would be attempting a task. It would be a guided practice. I would be like asking you questions that which one do you think could be the correct answer? Then if you look for the answers, these would be available in the Google, but you are not being honest here. You have this fear of not making mistake, that I would make a mistake. So what? Everyone makes mistakes, but the important thing is to attempt and be 100% honest about it. Now, once you attempt a test, then you move on to another test. This would be a mistake. One should always follow up their mistakes. In the listening and reading, it's not about how many tests you do. It's about following up your mistakes. Just attempt the listening test till you get it right. And there are other means to self-evaluate as well. Or you can just find out, what are your mistakes. So remember, in the listening and reading, if you want to achieve a really good score, always follow up your mistakes. Always check what went wrong and work on your weaknesses. Now, what sort of weaknesses could be there? It could be that you cannot understand the text at all. You're trying your level best, but you cannot understand. It's too academic for you. That could be one of the issues. And most of the time, that's because there are advanced words in the question or in the text. So once again, just another reminder that if you have any questions, I'm not expecting you to make it one-way communication. Any spontaneous questions you may have, this is our very own platform. Feel at home. Any question comes in your mind, please send it through so that I can answer it. Now, so if you think that I'm just going to attempt it and I will have an educated guess, this would not take you a long way. So any difficult word would resolve the issue most of the time. It's going to consume a bit of time and energy that you're going to pick the words, you're going to find out the meaning. Then another common mistake or your weaknesses area could be vocabulary, that you misspell it. You are not sure, especially when it comes to double S or double E, these sort of questions, you may struggle. So okay, match the headings. We are going to pick this one. And before we started the session, we were actually discussing about match the headings as well. So we are going to pick, even during our master classes as well, this topic. Or you can join our Telegram session where we attempt each and every would be giving you, but nothing like our classrooms. If you opt for our coaching, and this is just a mere glimpse of what we do in the classes. So now, the next thing would be vocabulary. Whenever you make any mistakes, make sure that you write the incorrect word 2 times, 3 times, so that next time, if you're going to write that word, you need to spell it right. The another thing would be mastering the strategies or tips or strategies, which is very, very important. So each and every question has its own tips and strategies. You just need to make sure that you apply those. Those are tried and tested mechanisms, and these always work. So then another weaknesses could be that in few particular question types you struggle, that maybe fill in the blanks are your strengths, you always do so well, but when it comes to true, false, not given or matching heading questions, you always struggle. So you need to identify what are your weak areas. After that, you are going to practice those questions in abundance. So we have the question bank, like all our team members, I would call them, who opt for our classes. If you can identify that this is my weak area, you would be given a question bank. You don't have to attempt the whole test so that you can practice again and again, you can master those questions. Now, if we move on, today we are going to discuss true, false, not given, or yes, no. The strategy would be the same. You'd be explain the task, what we are going to do, then we are going to discuss, and I'd be showing you how to get your answers right. So true, false, not given. So when it comes to computer delivered test, the screen is going to look like this. Okay, in the computer delivered test, Pooja, to answer your question, in the computer delivered test, it still remains the old way: listening, reading, writing. So in the computer delivered test, it still remains the old way. From 25th June, IDP made some changes in paper-based test. Now a test taker would be attempting the writing section first, then listening, and after that reading in the paper-based test. Computer delivered test, listening, reading, writing. Again, there are no changes in terms of question types, curriculum, structure, passages, information, paraphrased. Everything is same. It's just the test order that has been reshuffled for paper-based test. Now, once again, if you have any questions, I'm not expecting you to remain on mute. Let's not make it one-way communication. Any questions, spontaneous questions, please feel free to ask. So this is how it's going to look like in computer delivered test. On the left-hand side, you would have your text or passage. On the right-hand side, you would have your questions. Now, the good thing about computer delivered test is that you can highlight the text here, like in the paper-based test. Welcome, Pooja. So in the paper-based test, you can underline the keywords. Same way, in the computer delivered test, you can highlight the text. That suppose if you think in the first question, Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner. So if you want to underline the joint winner in the Nobel Prize, so then you'd be underlining these words. Then in the text or in the passage, you can underline the relevant part here. So you have this option, like let me show you how. So you can underline like this in the computer delivered test. Now, so suppose you want to underline this part here. So you can compare the information. You would have this option in the computer delivered test. Then when it comes to paper-based test, you have this ability that you can underline that using in the listening and reading, one must use a pencil. So you can underline the keywords in the question, must go, like in this, you would be underlining, or in the text, you can underline in the paper-based test. Now, this is how it's going to look like in the computer delivered test. You are given three options. When you click on the question, these three options would appear. You are going to pick the relevant one. And then in the paper-based test, while writing your answers, either you can write true, false, or not given, or you can just write T or F or NG for not given. You are allowed to do that. Now, let's have a look at the question. Then we are going to apply the tips or strategies. So before we start, let's understand the concept of true, false, or not given. So it would be true. So all truth lies here in the given passage or text. So all truth lies here. You need to base all your answers from the given text or passage only. These are someone making a statement or claiming that suppose this is like some sort of activity or a fair happened or a concert happened. You can, Namrata, to answer your question, you can change the answers before the submission. So before the 60 minutes time is up, you can always come back and change the answers if you need to. Now, so you can think of any activity that this is what actually happened. And now someone went to the activity and, they're claiming something that I believe this is what happened. Now you need to verify that whether the given statement is saying exactly the same thing that happened during the fair or concert. So all truth lies in the passage or text. Here, someone is making a claim which you need to verify. So it would be true if each and every element of the given statement only. So this is the statement that you are verifying and all aspects of it. Then if it says the same thing, it would be true. Now, the confusion comes in false and not given. So let's think of an example that you have a dark room and then it's like when you cannot see anything. So when you switch on the light, everything becomes visible. So if it contradicts, so if you switch on the light, if you go from the dark to bright, you can see things. So if it contradicts, then it would be false. If you do not see it there, if that object is not there, it would be not given. So true, if all elements of the statement are present, then it would be false if they have added some additional information. If your instinctive response is, no, no, this is incorrect information, here is the correct information, then it would be false. It would be not given if there is no reference with that given statement only. Now you are matching the meaning, not the words. Now we are going to try to apply these tips or strategies. Now, the bike foundry sells only second-hand bicycles. Now, some questions are fairly easy to understand, but some questions they are going to put advanced words in the question that the whole meaning depends on that word. That's why I'm saying that any difficult word, if you see that word is not there by coincidence that it happened to be there. They are going to put that word knowingly, and the whole meaning depends on that word. So if you're just going to skip it and you think that I would understand the gist of it, probably not, very likely not. So if you do not know the meaning, find out and make sure that you are looking for the meaning in Cambridge or Oxford. I mean, wouldn't recommend in sometimes when you are given meanings in native languages, the whole meaning is altered. So confirm it with Oxford or Cambridge exact meaning. Now the next thing, so as you can see, this question is fairly easy. Now the given passage is like storeroom, and these questions are like your list and light. So if time was no limit, you can go in the storeroom, look around the inventory, come out, and then pick up your list and bring what you need. But here you are given 40 questions in 60 minutes time. So if you are going to take a long time, that I'm going to read the passage, I mean, then only I can get my answers. But the problem is it's going to take your precious time to read it. And by the time, because your answer may lie in the third line or in the second line, but by the time you'd be reading here, you would forget what was the second word. You cannot remember that much information. Then you are going to read the question. You would come back to the passage. So your precious time is wasted. So make sure that you are reading the question first, and that to read the question 2 to 3 times. Simplify the question in your own words, in a layman's language, what exactly you need to look for. Simplify it. Then, a very common mistake a test taker makes is that doesn't pay much attention on the question, would have a quick glance at it and then move on. It's like, this got certain specifications that you need to bring from the storeroom. This is not going to get easy because lot depends on this good score. If you get your score, you may be permanent resident. So they are not going to make it easy. And the mistake probably you are doing, unintentionally, that you are just quickly glancing at the question and then you are going in the passage. So read the question 2 times, 3 times. Do not forget to simplify it in your own words. Some questions would be easy. So the bike foundry sells only second-hand bicycles. We would start reading, and you need to read it in a way that you understand. Now the markings, you mean the highlighting, Mita? I think you mean the highlighting the text. So the markings, or a test taker can highlight the text exactly the same way am I doing. So you can highlight, you would have this option. That would be instructed before the test starts. You would have a tutorial about highlighting or how to use the computer to do a test. Now, we are going to go in the passage. If you have any other questions, you may ask as we practice. If you have any disagreements with the, I think this should have been the answer, and because of this, so, all our tutors are very insightful. They would encourage you to discuss, because these academic discussions are very important. It cannot be one-way communication. The more you are sharing your point of view, you are learning more. So sells only second-hand bicycles, we are going to read. So the bike foundry. The bike foundry aims to promote cycling and to make an environmentally friendly means of transport and leisure available to as many as people as we can. So no reference that the bike foundry sells only second-hand bicycles, no reference here. So continue reading. Now, another aspect is that the order of information, that in most of the question types, if you're going to look answer for your first question, it would be at the top of the text, could be in the 4th line, could be in the 5th line. Answer for question number 9 or the next question would be underneath the first one. Next one would be underneath the second one. So the information would be in order in most of the question types, except match list questions, match the headings questions, and complete the summary. In complete the summary, you would find your answers in one cluster or in one part of the passage. In match the headings, match list, your information may lie anywhere. Now, in this one, information would be coming in order. So if you're going to look answer for your 9th one, you don't have to start from the beginning. It would be underneath this answer. Now we would start reading our bikes. All our bikes are hand restored by our team and come up with a 3 months guarantee. We stock bikes to suit different needs at affordable prices. We greatly accept donations of unwanted bikes. Now, if we have a look at this one, that this line here, you can attempt it at your end as well. All our bikes are hand restored by our team. So which one are you going to pick? The Bike Foundry sells only second-hand bicycles. Never expect that you'd find the exact wording that Bike Foundry sells second-hand bicycles and you would pick true. You are matching the meaning, not the words. So because of this line, all our bikes are hand restored. So restoring something or something that was old. So this would be second-hand bicycles. This would be true. Now the next one. One question at a time. So you got your answer from this line. This next one, all the training sessions are held at the Bike Foundry. Now, all the sessions. Now we would start reading. Training, we offer maintenance and cycle training to schools and small groups on their own premises. Additionally, we provide training to individuals and groups in our workshops. So because of this line, which one would you pick? Would it be true, false, or it would be not given? Now, if you are, yes, that's right, Shuchishmita, that's great. Well done. Now, so all training sessions are held at the Bike Foundry. We offer maintenance and cycle training to schools. And now some may think that where it's given, I think it should be not given because it's not saying that all the training sessions are held at the Bike Foundry. I do not see anything here. So it had to be not given. Again, the good thing about IELTS that it's always about your natural reading skills. It's not technical at all. Probably you are reading too much between the lines. So yes, PS, that's right. The first one was true. Now this one would be false. You can mark from your end, or you can type it in messages or chat box that according to you, what is the correct answer. Now this would not be not given. This would be false. And the only reason is that whenever you say this is incorrect information, here is the correct information, whenever you react in this manner or whenever it contradicts that this is false, this is incorrect, it would be false. Now let's have a look at the next one. The Bike Basics course is aimed at new cyclists. So you need to pay attention to the aimed at new cyclists. You would start reading. Now Bike Basics. This is a 3-hour course which will teach you everything you need to know to keep on top of simple maintenance issues like looking after brakes and gear and how to repair a puncture. By the end of the course, you will know how to take good care of your bike. So as you can see that no reference is made at this Bike Basics course is aimed at new cyclists. So this would be not given. There you go. Rupa, thanks so much. Really good. This would be not given. So true if all elements are same. It would be false if whenever you see it contradicting or whenever your reaction is this is incorrect information. Now Suchishmita asked this question, is it always that the questions are in order of appearing in the passage? It's not in case of each and every question. It would be for all other questions except match the headings, match list questions, and complete the summary. Information is jumbled. In all other question types, information would be coming in order. All right, Mohammed, well done. This would be not given. So this is just a mere glimpse of what we do during the sessions or during the classes. We make it interactive. That's the main thing. You never feel like that these are like typical classrooms where tutor is expecting you to remain on mute. It's not that way. I mean, you would feel really upset that I missed my class. I can assure you that. Now have a look at these offers. I mean, we are having 4 weeks classes running at the moment and 8 weeks classes, and the prices are, I would say, really good offer that you get for the quality. 2,499 for 4 weeks class. And what do you get here? 4 weeks of online interactive and engaging coaching, 15 days recorded sessions. Then you have your 21 free unscored practice tests and 2 test evaluations. 5 days a week we have our classes. Another one, you can even opt for 8 weeks. What I believe in, that all the investment that you make towards the betterment of something that good that you are planning to achieve, this is very small investment. Probably when you go over the weekend, you spend more than this, probably. I mean, on some days, but this investment is towards way better things in life. And the only reason, sometimes you think that I can prepare on my own. Just have a look in the YouTube. Most of those videos, that YouTube pays the money. I mean, if you have many subscribers, if you have many views, or like if your views are in thousands or in 100,000s, they would be paying money. So most of those, I'm not saying each and every video on the YouTube is clickbait, but most of those are clickbait. You would hear one part of the information like, this is what you need to do. Very next moment, you would hear something that confuses you a lot. Then you would read online, you would confirm that, see how many hours and how many days you are spending just for the research and just to what exactly you need to do. And look at this offer. I mean, if you opt for this one, I can assure you, this is a very small investment towards way better things in life. You would be recovering this money probably in a day's wage. I mean, if everything goes right, if you get your permanent residency, if you start working, this money would come to you manifold. But IELTS, you cannot risk it. And the reason I would come across students on a regular basis that I prepared my own, went for the test, and that has happened even to professors, executives, doctors, nurses, that I thought I was really good in academics, but there are certain parameters when it comes to speaking or in writing and in reading that the examiners want from you. You just need to make sure that you understand what the examiner is looking for you. If you do what the examiner wants, you end up getting a good score. So here we have all the tried, tested strategies. The material is given to you, the most important part. You don't have to look for anywhere else. It wouldn't be that you are practicing random. And the only problem that is with the material is that the quality isn't there. There are no checks and balances. So you end up practicing the material which is in fact harming your natural reading skills. So either you'd be getting all your correct answers or you'd be getting all incorrect answers. There would be 2 cases. So if you get, the problem is when you are getting all your answers correct and when you are getting all your answers wrong, then you stop practicing. Either you're going to think that I'm doing so well, or you think that nothing is working for me. So why should I even waste time? So here at the IELTS tutorials, today's topic is push breath. It's just for the reading section today, but during the classes we have all 4 sections covered. Now, so the fee is push breath is for all 4 modules, not for the reading. All 4 modules are covered. So we have our team. You can coordinate, and I look forward to your presence, or all our tutors basically. So this is a small investment towards way better things in life. The feedbacks that you would have, the interactions, and we have, like in the online classes, the sessions are very interactive. When it comes to the speaking one, you wouldn't want to miss those sessions because some of them are really good speakers and you end up picking the words from them. Timings, it's like we have one morning batch, 7 o'clock. Then we have another one at 11 o'clock in the morning. Then we have 3 o'clock. Then we have our 8 o'clock, then 9:30 and 9 o'clock is also. Many batches are there. If you have a look on the website, IELTStutorials.online, you would be able to see, and you can pick up your options. So early mornings or like afternoons or late nights, we have all batches now. So this would be worthwhile. You don't have to look for just confirm, because when you are practicing on your own, what happens that you get one piece of information, then you are always confirming, is this right or not? and then there are different views, and it always gets so messy and confusing that you think that, I should have opted for like coaching. And it is very helpful, to be honest. Now we have a dedicated Telegram group as well. Each one, if you are preparing for IELTS, you should join this group. And this is a Telegram group. You need to have Telegram application first of all. Then you are just going to join this, and we have interactive sessions here. Other test takers are there too. They are communicating, speaking, or seeking speaking partners as well. So it's almost 12,000 active members at the moment. So you can join, and it'd be worthwhile, I can assure you. Now, few things would be that you can even self-evaluate. These are the things before you opt for the classes, that when would you need the result? Okay, results are available on the IDP website. So sometimes when a lot of students are opting for these, they increase the slot. Sometimes when the demand is low, they decrease the slot. So one needs to check on the website, IDP India website. You need to check on it. But listening, reading, writing would always be in one go or in one session. Now, today we are going to have our free counselors, or like visa counselors as well. I mean, you can ask your immigration queries. Now, let's, if you'd like to ask any questions, what we did, would request you to please ask your questions. If you would like to discuss, you are most welcome. Anything that you would like to discuss? Let's make it a bit more interactive. Probably you were waiting to ask a question. Any questions that you may have, we can discuss these. Once again, even during the classes, I mean, I can see a few students have already joined as well from our classes. I'm sure you would agree that our classes are never like typical classrooms where tutors are like, please remain on mute and I'm talking. It's never one-way communication. If you have any questions, you can discuss it right here. Hasina, thanks so much for joining. Would request please unmute. Okay, please ask your query. I have requested you to unmute. Okay. Answers you would like to have a look? Just a moment. I need to share the screen once again. Just a second, Pooja. Okay, Amrit Kaur would request please unmute. Okay, just a second. So these are the answers, Pooja. You can have a screenshot. And these are the questions. You can attempt it. You can take a screenshot. Okay, one another aspect is that, at the end of the session, you'd be given our feedbacks forms. Please do give your feedbacks. I would request each one of you. It's just going to take a few minutes, and this would help us to improve our session. So you would be requested to give your feedbacks. One humble request, please do so. These would make a huge difference. That how did you find today's sessions? What more we could do? And of course, would be looking forward to your presence in classes as well. Amrit, if it's possible, I have asked to unmute yourself. Please unmute. Please ask your question.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Amrit.
My question was, sir, how does this coaching work? I previously asked when are the tests conducted. So my actual question was, how is this going to be executed? Either 5 days sessions and then 6-day test, or how are you going to execute this?
Okay, all right, really good question. So we have 5 days classes, and what happens is, suppose we are going to do true false today. So each week is dedicated to one section. So 1 week it would be reading, then it would be listening, writing, and speaking. So 1 week for one section. Each and every day, a task would be explained that this is what the examiner is looking for, and you would be displayed that, okay, this is how you need to locate the information. Now let's attempt it. In each and every practice session or every day, you would be attempting around 15 to 20 questions. So those attempts would be with feedbacks as well, that in case if you struggle, that okay, this is what you should be paying attention to. So each and every day there is a test activity.
Okay, and this 8 weeks course, sir, this thing that's repeated, or for how is this
Okay,
extra attention given?
new material would be there in each, like next time it wouldn't be that you are practicing with the same material. New material would be there. And of course, the reason for that is sometimes you are practicing on your own. You do not have that discussion part that you want to do, and you want to remain in touch. So that can be a good option to join our classes. Many students would extend it. It involves small investment, and you are doing it regularly, because consistency is very important. Okay. Dr. Shapna, would request please unmute. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, hi, good morning, sir.
Morning, Shapna.
Yeah,
yes.
So I actually wanted to ask you that do we get only 2 mock tests in this entire session or 1 month course, or we get
You
another
would have
mock test?
you would have around 50, 60, but this is like the